7 reasons the devil trembles at the silence of Saint Joseph. In the Catholic tradition, silence is never emptiness, it is fullness pregnant with faith, obedience, and trust among all the saints. No one embodies sacred silence more powerfully than Saint Joseph. The Gospels record no spoken words from him, yet his quiet presence echoes across salvation history. His silence was not weakness nor passivity, it was strength restrained, authority submitted to God, and love expressed through action. For this reason, the devil trembles not at noise, not at arguments, but at the silent obedience of Saint Joseph. Here are 7 reasons why. 1. His silence was perfect obedience. In the Gospel of Matthew, Joseph receives divine messages through dreams. Each time he responds immediately. When the angel tells him not to fear taking Mary as his wife, he obeys without hesitation. When warned to flee to Egypt, he rises in the night and leaves. When told it is safe to return, he returns. Joseph does not debate, he does not demand explanations. His silence is the soil in which obedience grows. The devil, whose fall came through pride and rebellion, trembles before such humble submission. Satan said, "I will not serve." Joseph's life proclaims, without words, "Thy will be done too." He guarded the mystery of the Incarnation. Joseph was entrusted with protecting the Virgin Mary and the child Jesus. He stood watch over the Incarnation itself. In a world where Satan sought to destroy the Messiah from the beginning, Joseph became the earthly guardian of the Redeemer. Herod's murderous intent could not overcome Joseph's vigilance. The Holy Family survived because Joseph listened in silence and acted in courage. The devil trembles because Joseph was chosen to defend the one who would crush the serpent's head. In defending Mary and Jesus, Joseph participated in the fulfillment of that ancient prophecy. 3. His fatherhood reflects the fatherhood of God. Though not the biological father of Jesus, Joseph was truly his legal and foster father. He gave Jesus a name, which in biblical traditions signifies authority and responsibility. He taught Jesus how to work, pray, and live as a man within the Jewish covenant. Satan hates fatherhood because it mirrors divine authority and love. Joseph stands as a model of chaste, faithful, and sacrificial fatherhood. His silent strength restores what sin seeks to destroy. Every time a father imitates Joseph, loving, protecting, and providing, the devil's kingdom weakens, for his chastity defeats lust. Joseph's marriage to Mary was virginal, yet fully real. He loved her deeply while respecting her total consecration to God. His purity was not repression, it was ordered love. He demonstrates that authentic masculinity is rooted in self-mastery. The devil often attacks through disordered desire. Joseph's chastity stands as a fortress against impurity. In Catholic devotion, he is invoked as the most chaste spouse. His silent integrity proclaims that holiness is possible. Satan trembles before a man who conquers himself through grace. 5. His hidden life sanctified ordinary work. Joseph was a carpenter at Tecton, a craftsman. He lived most of his life in Nazareth, a small and insignificant town. There were no crowds, no miracles attributed to him, no public sermons, yet within that hidden life he cooperated in God's redemptive plan. The devil prefers spectacle, noise, and pride. Joseph reveals the power of hidden holiness. He shows that sanctity is forged in workshops, kitchens, and daily responsibilities. By faithfully performing ordinary tasks with extraordinary love, Joseph sanctified human labor itself. His silence transforms work into prayer. 6. His trust conquered fear. Joseph faced uncertainty repeatedly. Mary's mysterious pregnancy, the poverty of Bethlehem, the flight into Egypt, exile in a foreign land. Each situation could have led to fear or despair. Instead, Joseph trusted. Trust is a weapon against Satan, who thrives on anxiety and doubt. Joseph's calm, steady faith silences the lies of the enemy. He teaches Catholics that God's providence unfolds even in darkness. His silence was not confusion, it was confidence in God's guidance. The devil trembles when a soul refuses panic and chooses trust. 7. His silence points entirely to Christ. Perhaps the greatest reason the devil trembles at Joseph's silence is this: Joseph never draws attention to himself. Everything about him directs us to Jesus and Mary. He decreases so that Christ may increase. In a culture obsessed with self-promotion, Joseph's hiddenness is radical. He reminds the church that the greatest saints are those who disappear into God's will. Satan fell because he sought glory for himself. Joseph is exalted because he sought nothing but God's plan. His silence becomes a mirror in which we see Christ more clearly. Saint Joseph's silence is not empty. It speaks through action, sacrifice, and fidelity. In Catholic spirituality, silence is the space where God's voice is heard. Joseph lived in that space continually. He did not preach sermons, yet his life proclaims one. Holiness is found in obedience, purity, work, fatherhood, trust, and humility. The devil trembles because Saint Joseph represents everything Satan rejected: obedience instead of rebellion, humility instead of pride, purity instead of corruption, faith instead of fear. Joseph's silence crushes the noise of temptation. It exposes the weakness of evil, which depends on confusion and chaos. For Catholics today, devotion to Saint Joseph is not sentimental, it is spiritual warfare. When families entrust themselves to him, when fathers imitate his leadership, when workers offer their labor to God, the silent carpenter of Nazareth continues his mission. He still guards the church, the mystical body of Christ, just as he once guarded the child Jesus in a noisy world filled with distraction. Saint Joseph invites us into holy silence. There we learn to listen. There we learn to trust. And there we discover that the quiet fidelity of one righteous man can shake the kingdom of darkness. The devil trembles not at volume but at virtue. And in the silent heart of Saint Joseph, virtue shines with unshakable strength. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Goodbye.